Welcome to the Your Next Move podcast. Today, if you are looking to land a new job, I have 4 tips to help you stand out. The pandemic changed so much about how we work and how we are rethinking priorities. And this has definitely impacted the job hunt for so many folks. And people have been talking about the great resignation and now a recession. It can be intimidating if you are embarking upon a job search. So I have 4 tips that I want to break down for you today. Let's get right into it. So tip number 1, obtain insider information. I know we've talked about this on other episodes, but we're going to get a little bit deeper today. I want to make sure that you're tapping into your existing network of family, friends, past coworkers, anyone in this increasingly competitive landscape who can help you take your career to the next level. Any referrals, insights, information you can gather can help guide you through the interview process and make it so much better. These informal conversations can give you much needed intel and at the very minimum, help you rise above the pile of resumes that recruiters are going through. And when I say pile, I mean virtual pile most of the times in the company ATS system. Use your network to also expand your contacts. One of my favorite questions is there anyone else in your network who you believe would be great for me to speak to? And would you be willing to facilitate an introduction? If I know I'm looking to work in the field of marketing, let's say, and we had another guest on the podcast, Jackie Janik, she works in marketing, but she's not working in an industry that I particularly want to work in. I would be comfortable asking Jackie, is there anyone else in your network who works in marketing in XYZ industry that I would like to connect to that would be helpful for me? And would you be helpful facilitating that introduction? A simple ask. And I find that as many times as I share this information, a lot of folks are still very uncomfortable asking to be connected to others. They'd rather just try and apply and pray that someone sees their resume. And if you are a high achieving professional with an amazing pedigree of companies behind you, a very defined skill set, maybe those applications may always come to the top for you. And you may be like, nah, this whole networking thing, insider information, I'll be fine. But for the average professional, myself included, if I was going to go back into the job market right now, I would 100% be reaching out to all of my contacts, despite knowing I have a really great pedigree of Fortune 100 companies and Ivy League institutions on my resume. It's still so crucial. And on the other side, it's when you want to make sure you're getting into a company that aligns with your values, with the mission, with the vision, and really understand the body of work that you'll be responsible for. The only way you can get that is through talking to other people. And we don't want to just rely on asking great questions in the interview, because again, in the same way you are putting your best foot forward in the interview, the company is doing the same thing. They may not spill the beans and tell you all their dirty laundry, but for you to make an informed decision, we need you to know the dirty laundry. And these meetings don't need to be an hour, lunch, dinner, etc. It can be a quick 15 to 20 minute coffee chat with some key questions to learn about their experience, to help you make a move, learn about the company, maybe the potential leader you'll be working on, the projects, the challenges the company is going through, just to give you a little bit more of that information. And just another little note on networking. Insider information is easier to obtain when you have been keeping your network active. You should not just be activating your network when you need something, activating it when you're looking for a job. Networking is something that happens all of the time. Every time you're meeting someone new, it is an opportunity to add them to your network of professionals to help you get insider information if and when the time comes. So again, this is a continuous process. If you're listening and you're not looking to land a new job, maybe this is your reminder to reach out and just do some check-ins with your network. Number 2, clearly highlight your related and transferable skills in your application materials. Many times when we're making career transitions, we think that, my experience speaks for itself. I did what I did, where I did it, and you should understand what that is. Like, look it up. It is not the recruiter or a hiring leader's job to determine what your experience is. You probably already know that submitting the generic resume for every job is not a good move. You don't want to just swap out a few quick things. Make sure you're tailoring it. Now, if you're a product manager and you're applying to all product manager jobs in the same industry, you don't need to tailor your resume each and every time. But let's say you are transferring from one industry to another, or you're moving from working in student services in an education association to then moving into corporate America, doing something else. You need to make sure that you're bringing your transferable skills to the forefront of your resume. When I look at someone's resume and I look at each job, I want the most relevant accomplishments, most relevant skills at the top. When I'm reading a cover letter, especially if I feel like someone's experience, I don't quite understand it. If I'm reading the cover letter, I want to make sure that cover letter is explaining the transitions. The resume is the who, what, where, when, how. The cover letter is the story about how you got there and what you're able to do. If you got a certificate, or you took another course, or maybe you're thinking about leading a new work stream that's more closely related to where you want to go, highlight all of these things to make sure you are telling the story of why you are the most qualified. And we're talking about application materials, but all the work you're doing for your application materials also needs to get thrown into all of the information you're going to share during the interview. Always make sure you are connecting the dots. When I'm working with my clients, I teach them to use words like, based upon my experience working on this project that resulted in A, B, and C, I would be able to do this if selected for this role where I know D, E, and F is the priority. Make it plain. Never expect someone just to see your greatness. Yes, your experience you may think it speaks for itself, but when you're looking to stand out, make it easy. Don't make them come trying to figure it out or ask you more questions. Make it plain. Number 3, plan your answers to well-known questions. There are so many questions that are commonly asked in interviews. Why are you looking for a new job? What attracted you to this company? Tell me a little bit more about yourself. These questions sound so simple, but I promise you, as someone who's worked in talent acquisition and interviews for their team, this is where most professionals mess up. And many times I talk about the tumble effect in interviews. When you make a mistake in an interview, many times what you'll see is that the candidate is thinking about the mess up. They're thinking about how they messed up that answer and didn't say the right thing. And I think about it like a snowball. It's like, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you continuously make mistakes throughout the interview. It's like tumbling down a hill, and then you hit a tree, and then you trip, and then you lose your shoe and you go down the hill. Same things happens to me when I record this podcast. When I mess up one time, it's all I'm thinking about. It's like how much I'm continuing to mess up. When you plan for your success in answering these questions, it is so helpful and will make you so much more confident. Each question that you answer is an opportunity to show off that you are in alignment with the job that you are applying for. It shows that you are prepared. It shows that you are confident. It shows that you are the best potential fit for the job. So there's no such thing as too much preparation. And it also allows you to explain and align with the company's mission, values, and bring in your passions to show that you're not just the best candidate for the job because you're the most qualified, you're also passionate and excited about the company and what they're working on as well. It's vital that you find out as much as possible prior to the interview so that you can put this level of preparation in. And it also, not off to the interviewers out there, they love to see that you are well-researched and excited about it. It is definitely a time for you to talk all about the skills you've gained and all of the stories that connect to why you will be great at this job. Last but not least, we have number 4. Now, this one again may sound like an easy one. I feel like many of the tips I give, people will be like, Kim, like, we know this. I say it though because people still don't do it. And this part is always be ready. The recruiting landscape is changing every single day. And when you want to stand out, Being prepared, being ready to jump on whenever an opportunity rises is key. Many organizations are still conducting video job interviews. And if you haven't gotten used to being on video calls with or without someone on the other line now, because there's so many great technologies that allow recruiters to screen candidates faster, you need to get on the bandwagon. It may feel awkward talking to yourself, but this is to your advantage as a candidate. The more people that recruiters are able to see, the more chances that your application may be one of those. Take a few extra steps to prepare for the interview, to avoid any snafus, any mistakes that happen. It never hurts to do simple things like testing your background, testing your audio, testing your video, all of those things. Even in recording this podcast, I had to stop because my water bottle was in the back because I noticed it was there and it was distracting. We started the point over again. Think about what is happening in these videos when that could be distracting to someone who's interviewing you. You want them to just be focused right here. Nothing else should matter. So thinking about the video, thinking about how you're telling your stories, how are you continuously aligning yourself to where you need to be and setting yourself up for success. I know these tips are simple, but again, people mess them up every single day. Job hunting has and will always be and feel like a full-time job, and that's okay. But the more you set yourself up for success, the easier this process will be. The best way to stand out is to be enthusiastic, show your interest, and do your homework. And don't just look for a new job because sometimes you feel like everybody is doing it. Because looking for a job is a full-time job, make sure you're applying to things that you are excited about. You are eager and you would hopefully say yes if given the opportunity to work for that company. Whatever job you're looking for needs to align with the career strategy you have for yourself. And if you do not have a career strategy, it's about time that you put one together. And a free tip number 5, when you know what your career strategy is, your interviewing becomes so much easier because you're looking for alignment. You're telling stories that are in alignment, and you're able to quickly accept or reject opportunities that come your way because you know yourself better than anyone else and what aligns to that strategy. So with that, I wish you the best of luck on your job search. If this is, you're listening because you're looking to stand out, and may your next move be your very best move. Have a great day, y'all.